Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge's channel, Going for Goldbridge, and we've got a special sort of bonus content for you today. A few of you said, can you do the Myers-Briggs test, which I didn't even know if I pronounced it right, I don't even know what it is, but apparently it's a personality test. So I thought I would do this on video as we go and see what I come out with. And actually, if it's something really bad, I'm not going to put the video up anyway, but I think the most important thing with this is to be honest. Honest is important, so I'm going to be really honest with this. Yeah, I'm going to be honest about it, because one thing springs to mind about honesty, and I was on about this the other day actually. I remember going to a funeral about 5 years ago with somebody we used to work with who died. Obviously that's what funerals normally mean, somebody has died. They're not necessarily a nice thing to go to. I mean, look, it wasn't someone we went out drinking with a lot, it was just, you know, it was okay. But anyway, we're at the bit afterwards, and we went, you know, you go and play your condolences. I don't even know what the word is. I almost think I'm going to say commiserations or something stupid like that, or he had a good innings, you know, whatever. But anyway, we stood talking to the family, and the lad I was with was just like, oh, you know, it's such a loss, life and soul of the party, you know, such a nice guy, and you know, he'll always be remembered. And I was just like, I didn't really say much more than, you know, commiserations. Or whatever the word was right at the time. But when we went to get a drink at the bar, I was like, I can't believe what you've just said. He was like, what? He said, well, you didn't like him. Like, you used to say he was a bit of an arrogant knobhead and moody. And he went, well, yeah, I did. But that's what people do at these sort of things, isn't they? They just say nice things because that's what they want to hear. They don't know he's a knobhead in real life. And I went, what do you mean real life? It's not an episode of EastEnders. He's dead. There is no real life. He's actually dead. And, you know, I just think you're a bloody hypocrite, and I do wonder why people, like, I've had this happen a few times. Like, when somebody dies, people always focus on the good thing, but I don't mind that. But it's almost like they reinvent history. Like, oh, it was such a nice guy, you know, such a nice guy, forgetting the fact that he never did sod all. He was always quite lazy and moody. But, you know, I mean, it's sad that he died, but I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel about it. You know, I was going to say live by the sword, die by the sword. He didn't die by the sword, but, you know, your reputation precedes you. Honesty, anyway. Honesty. Let's get on with this. Honesty. I've sort of ravelled myself up in something I didn't want to get involved in there. Anyway, look, we're going to start off with this. I don't know where this is going to go. I've not done it, so I'm just going to answer the questions as they come. So, you enjoy vibrant... So I think it's like agree, strongly disagree. I mean, why don't they just say agree or disagree? I hate this sort of thing. You know, you used to get these things at work. You get them a lot, you know, bloody customer, you know, employee satisfaction. Do you strongly agree, slightly agree, not agree, strongly disagree, or agree? And I'm like, can I just agree or disagree, please? But anyway, you enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love going to wakes, vibrant social events where people lie about everybody and, you know, have a few drinks in them, start acting like Billy Big Bollocks. Oh, I love these. I absolutely love these. No, I'd rather be down the local pub with 2 or 3 select friends, the wife, and people I actually like and respect and want to listen to. So I don't strongly disagree, but I definitely don't agree. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Well, yeah, I would agree with that, because I spend a lot of time thinking Manchester United are going to win the league and how they're going to do it, which, to be honest with you, is totally unrealistic at this moment in time. Your travel plans are more like... sorry, wait a minute. Your travel plans are more likely to... it'd be helpful if I could actually read. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Well, no. I must admit, I do like to plan. No, I mean, not to the extent that it's by the minute. Right, you've had your half an hour at London Zoo. We're now off to Madame Tussauds because I want to be at Planet Hollywood for dinner at 12. No, I'm not like that. But I do like to have a rough idea in my head. So I would sort of slightly disagree on that one. This is going to be interesting. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it's taken place. I would sort of agree with that, because there are plenty of conversations I've had over the years. I don't know whether I'm this person anymore, where I'll sort of have a conversation and maybe I'll only go 70% of where I want to go with it. And realistically, I'll walk away with it and go, I really should have told him to F off or something like that. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally. This is like a psychiatrist. I don't like this much. This is delving. I'm starting to overthink this. If your friend is sad about something, maybe cat's died, been dumped. Sorry, Jim. He's had both those things in the last week. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve the problem. So if someone's sad, do I support them emotionally or try to solve the problem? So your cat's died. I go down the vets and get them a new cat, or do I talk about the old cat and make them feel better? I think I'm a problem solver. So I'd sort of disagree with that one. People can rarely upset you. I quite agree with that. I would sort of strongly agree with that, especially with what I do. I mean, I get called all sorts of names. People say what I do is shit. People call me names. So I don't really feel that certain people can upset me. People who are sort of who know me and they know what buttons to press, but I don't think Twitter and stuff really do. So I'd sort of agree with that. Next. You often rely on other people to be the ones to start a conversation and keep it going. Very much disagree on that one. I like to start a conversation. I like to keep it going. I'm somebody who goes live at 8 o'clock every night and talks non-stop for 45 minutes. I'm not short of conversation, and I don't need someone to start and click the live show and introduce me. If you have to temporarily put your plans on hold, you make sure it is your top priority to get back on track as soon as possible. So, yeah, I'd sort of agree with that. If I have to cancel a show or something because of something, I'll try and get it back on track quite quickly. So I'd strongly agree with that. You rarely. I'm talking about Roy Hodgson here. You rarely worry if you make a good impression on someone you met. Nah, you know what? I think that's a bit arrogant to say agree. I don't care what people think about me. I actually do care. If I meet somebody, I'm not really bothered about social media because we're all acting on there to some extent, aren't we? You might try to wind somebody up. But if I meet somebody face to face, I want them to have a good impression of me. I don't want them to think he's a dickhead or anything like that. I think there's too many people out there who, don't really care about what people think about them. And that's a good thing to a certain extent, but I don't want people to say, oh, what a knobhead. He's exactly like he is on YouTube, an absolute knobhead. So, I disagree with that one quite strongly. Not totally disagree, just strongly disagree. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. Disagree. I firmly disagree. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. What would you struggle all weekend being on your own? I firmly disagree. That's not a hint about what I would be doing. I mean, you could do that all weekend. You might get a bit sore, but no, that's not what I meant by firmly disagreeing. But no, I used to. The reason I say that is that I love family, I love friends, and I wouldn't like being on my own all weekend, but I wouldn't get bored. That's the question. It's not saying would you be lonely. Would you get bored? And I've always been very good at, I've had some crap jobs in my life, and like literally 8-hour days felt like 8 weeks. So I would always be able to find something with my mind or some little game I could play. So I'm very good at not getting bored when I'm on my own. You are more of a detail orientated than a big picture person. I'm sort of in the middle on that one. I don't really understand the question, to be honest. You are very affectionate with people you care about. Now, this is getting. I don't want to answer. I do want to answer it, but this is getting a bit personal now. This is getting a little bit personal. I mean, I'll hold your horses. Woe back. You're very affectionate with people you care about. Actually, I strongly agree. People who I care about would know I care about them, so that I would agree with that. You have a careful and methodical approach to life. Boring question. Next. You're still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Yeah, you know what? I think I sort of strongly agree with that. I'm just thinking about even little mistakes, big mistakes, things I wish I'd done. They still do bother me because I do think, well, I wish I hadn't done that, or I wish I had done that. so that hadn't happened. So yeah, I do think that. I think you know, this is about me, unfortunately. So, but I don't know. I think that, you know, nostalgia is something for me, history and everything like that. Not history lessons. I don't give a shit about JFK or the Battle of Hastings. I do. I think they're interesting stories, but I don't think about them in a historic way unless I'm reading or watching a film. But I mean my past. So yeah, I do think about things like that. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. Oh yeah, you can find me in the corner, sat there. Not really. It depends. No, you know what? I'm very good at being fake as well. You know, I've been at plenty of things where I don't really know many people or I don't really like people, and I'll just ask them about them. It's very easy to, you know, fake it. But you know, but you're not. It's not likely to be anything that's going to offend you. You know, if it's a meet and greet with Mark Goldbridge and you're paying to be there, I'm not going to fake it. I will. You know, you're there to talk to me, which I think's great. I'm joking. But no, if it's anything to do with football, I'm not going to not want to be there. But we all go to bloody christenings and when you don't know anybody and things like that. And I wouldn't go in a corner and make it obvious that I didn't want to be there. I'd pretend. So I disagree with that one. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. So we're talking about Arsenal fans, really, who aren't logical and let their emotions guide them. So they think they're going to win the league this year because they've beaten Fulham on the open day. You often feel difficult to relate to those people who let their emotions guide them. I suppose I sort of do, because I think they're a bit deluded. So yeah. When looking for a movie to watch, you can spend ages browsing the catalogue. If I'm struggling, I sort of agree with this, because there are plenty of times on a Saturday night that I want to watch a film and I don't really know what to watch, but that tends to be because I'm watching it with the wife and she won't want to watch something I want to watch, and it takes a bit of time to find the perfect mix. But if it's just for me, I think I'm quite quick. So yeah, again, that's not anything to do with anything else. You can stay calm under a lot of pressure. Yes and no. If you know, from some of the jobs I've done and for what I do now, you are under pressure a lot, and I am quite calm. However, if I'm at the petrol station and I'm waiting for the person in front and I've picked the wrong queue, and I see old Dorothy who's just slowly filling her petrol up, and then she's in the shop bit of the thing, I get quite frustrated. So, but I'd say generally quite good. When in a group of people you do not know, you have no problem jumping right into their conversation. Agree. I've said this before. We said it on Going for Goldbridge last week. I just will take the plunge. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. True-ish. I do have quite an active imagination, but they're not. I'm not Harry Potter or anything like that. I mean, they are real. You know, it's based. There's a base of reality to my dreams. I'm not stupid. Like I don't start flying a dragon, or you know, like I say, I'm not a magician or anything like that. You know, I'm me. I'm actually me, and I find that my dreams are achievable. If not fanciful, but they are achievable. In Europe, reality is very important in dreams. Anything else is just a lie. In your opinion, it is sometimes okay to step on others to get ahead in life. No, I disagree. I sort of slung. I don't think I've seen a lot of this in my life, and I disagree with that. I don't think you need to trample on people to get where you need to be. You just need to be better. You don't need to trample. You need to be better. That's a big difference, and respect is important. So I don't think you need to trample or lie about people, especially in this industry that I work in now, in like the football industry. People do trample on each other. They lie about each other so they can get the opportunity, and I think that's wrong. I don't do that. You are dedicated and focused on your goals, only rarely getting sidetracked. I'd agree with that. If you make a mistake, you tend to start doubting yourself, your ability, or your knowledge. Now I just blame other people. It's true. It's true. I'm terrible at it. If I bang my head on a cupboard, I'll punch the cupboard, and then I'll hurt my hand, and then I'll punch it again, and I'll really hurt my hand. I've always had this instant reaction to when I do something wrong to blame the other thing. So you know, at least I'm honest. I've got to be honest. Unlike that prat at the funeral. When at a social event, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I used to be like that. I did used to be like that, but I think in recent years that's changed, because I tend to get a lot of people who who want to talk to me at the events I'm at, which is absolutely fine because they'll know me off YouTube and they might be a YouTuber themselves. So, yeah, but I wouldn't be one of the people. I don't think I'm one. I'd sort of be in the middle with that because I definitely used to be somebody who is more comfortable in a social environment, as I said at the start, with people I know. But it doesn't mean I'm rude. I wouldn't want that to come out of this. We're only 40% Sue. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. No, I disagree. I like philosophical. I don't even know what it means, but I like it. I like the sound of it. You would know. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. Well, this is quite a deep thing actually, because I don't actually cry a lot, and at my granddad's funeral, lots of people have been crying, and the vicar was talking about his family, and he mentioned the grandkids, one of which was mine, and I just started crying. I thought I was laughing because they just don't see me cry, so I can't control it when it happens. It just doesn't happen very often, so it's not. I can't control it to even stop myself from doing it. So I disagree with that. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. Disagree. Going shopping on a Saturday to Sainsbury's or going to get your petrol on a Sunday morning. Give me Sainsbury's at 9 o'clock on a Monday night, or getting your petrol at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night when hardly anybody's there every day of the week. It's bliss. You like discussing different views and theories on what the world could look like in the future. I don't know whether I like it. I think it depresses me sometimes, so I'd be in the middle there. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. Yeah, I am a passion merchant, yeah. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. Well, I don't even know what that means. You cannot imagine yourself dedicating your life to the study of something that you cannot see, touch, or experience. I still don't know what it means. You usually prefer to get your revenge. I should do an IQ test. It's probably very low. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. I can't answer that. Not on a stream. I think as a younger man, I would have gone revenge, but as a more mature man, I always think people deserve a second chance, so I disagree with that. You often make decisions on a whim. I'm a passion merchant, but I don't think it's a whim. The time you spend by yourself often ends up being more interesting and satisfying than the time you spend with other people. This is so arrogant to agree, but it's true. I actually think the time I spend on myself is a lot of the time far more constructive than talking to others. I do, and I'm talking on a work sense here. I've always been quite good at working on my own. I can work in a team, and I've got a really good team that I work with, so I'm not disrespecting them, although they might think that now. But I do actually not have a problem with working on myself. I don't. You often put special effect. That's so arrogant. You often put special effort into interpreting the real meaning or the message of a song or a movie. I sort of agree. I mean, I'm not massively interested in finding out what the bigger meaning of Free Willy is. Basically, it's a whale in captivity that they free. And it's an inappropriate name. You always know exactly what you want. I sort of agree with that. Yeah. I didn't know up until about 23, but since then I have. You really think back on the choices you made and wonder what you could have done differently. I think I'd be in the middle with that, because I think it's natural to always look back, but I'm happy with the choices that I made. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. True. You tend to focus on present realities rather than future possibilities. Disagree. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Middle. When starting to work on a project, you prefer to make as many decisions up front as possible. I don't know. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. I disagree with that. Why be so pessimistic? Oh, she's in love with me. I wonder how long it's going to be until she falls out of love with me. You've got to go into it with a bit of confidence, haven't you? It's like being a striker. Oh, I've been signed for Manchester United, but I wonder how long it's going to be until I start missing chances and everybody hates me. I know some people obviously are like that, but Pessimistic. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. I sort of agree now. I didn't used to, but I sort of agree now. I would sort of go out my way to talk to somebody if I found them interesting. And I'm not talking about females here. You often drift away into daydreaming scenarios about various ideas or scenarios. Yep. I'm a bit of a dreamer. They may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. You look after yourself first and others come in second. Strongly disagree. Even when you've got to say that. You have got to say that, but fortunately it's true for me. I'm not about myself. I don't drive. You know, I've met people in this industry and they drive in far better cars than I do. I just drive in something that's economical and good for the family. So I'm not interested in the traps and trappings of any sort of fame that I may have, which I don't think I have anyway. Which shows I'm humble, which is a positive, I think. Even when you have a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Disagree. No, if you've got a plan, stick to the plan. Don't be flying by the seat of your pants. Oh, I'm meant to be going to do the 8 o'clock show on the United Stand tonight, but sod it. I think I'll just go out for a big long walk. Your mood can change very quickly. Yes, I'd agree with that. You know, you can be in a... It happened to me the other day. I was not in a very good mood and a couple of things happened and I was like, I'm in a good mood now. And I wouldn't have predicted that an hour before the good mood. You often contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I wouldn't say often, a little bit. You often talk about your own feelings and emotions. I have got a lot better about this, but I wouldn't say often because that makes you sound needy. You know, I still think that there's a time and a place. But I think it's very good to be open about it, especially if you're not feeling good. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. No. You rarely dwell on your regrets. I sort of agree with that one. Spending time in a dynamic atmosphere with lots of people around quickly makes you feel drained and in need of a getaway. Oh, I'd agree with that. I would liken that to, you know, when you think about like what I do on YouTube in relation to the football world. I like what I do on the United Stand. I like the interaction. I like to sort of see where that's going. Put me with 5 or 6 other YouTubers. I don't like it. It becomes a mess. You lose focus. You lose direction. You lose the conversation because it basically becomes a cacophony, like that word, of people trying to get their 2 minutes in, trying to get one up, trying to be loud. And I lose interest in that. So I would say that does make me feel drained and need of getting away. So yeah, I'd quite agree with that. You see yourself as more of a realist than a visionary. I'm sort of on the fence with that. I can be quite real, but I also think to be a creative, you've got to be visionary as well. You find it easy to empathise with people who's gone through something you never have. Oh yeah, I really find it interesting. I find it really easy to empathise with somebody who has, had their... I'm trying to think of something. Well, been attacked by a great white shark. Oh, I imagine that. I know exactly what that must be like. You're swimming along, a big shark comes towards you and bites you. Yeah, I really find it easy to empathise with that because once I got bit by my hamster. Let's go for a beer. I've got to disagree on that. What a silly question. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organised and consistent efforts. I disagree because what I do is quite, you've got to be organised and consistent. So I disagree on that one. Getting towards the end. What's going to happen? I could have wasted filming this. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Agree. I'm an emotional person. I'm a passionate person, and if you're a passionate person, you are going to be controlled by your emotions. Sometimes if I'm feeling happy, I will run around the garden in my shorts pretending I'm Cristiano Ronaldo with my top off. Sometimes these things happen. After a long and exhausting week, a fun party is just what you need. No, I think 15 years ago, yes, but not now. I think after a long and exhausting week, I'd rather just have a nice cup of Horlicks, get a movie on and chill out, or something good on Netflix with the wife and just relax. Yeah, after a nice hot bath with some very nice smelling bubble bath. Yes. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. Well, I disagree. I don't think I think about it that much. You always consider how your actions might affect other people before doing something. I think I would agree with that, because that's not saying that I'm worried about what I'm going to do. That's just saying I'm considering it. I might consider if I'm going to upset people, I'll consider it. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. You still honour the commitments you made even if you have a change of heart. Disagree. You know, if you change your mind, you change your mind if it's good. You rarely feel insecure. It's quite an honest question here, but I'm going to say I sort of disagree with that, because I think insecurity can be an opportunity for creation and self-reflection. So I don't think feeling insecure is a bad thing. So here we go. Let me see if I can just. So it's giving me the results here. Your personality type is advocate. Oh, what's this mean then? Let's have a look. This trait mind, you're more introverted than extroverted, 58% to 42%. Energy, 59% intuitive and 41% observant. Nature, 67% feeling. Tactics, 63% judging. And identity, turbulent, 54%. So advocate, let's have a look what advocate is. Advocate sounds like a drink. Personality, meaning, sounds a bit boring to me. Sometimes referred to as the advocate or the idealist, people with personalities are creative, gentle and caring, are usually reserved but highly sensitive to how others feel. They are typically idealistic with high moral standards and a strong focus on the future. Bada bing, bada boom. That is not too far off me, because I would say that I am creative, I am quite caring, loyal, and they are typically idealistic, which I think I am, with high moral standards, which I think I do have. I think trust and respect are very important to me. A strong focus on the future, that surprises me a little bit. You don't know why you've got that. You need that, but that's quite interesting. That is quite interesting. So thanks for everybody who gave me that. It's just I've just done this on a Sunday night, so I'll do a game for Goldbridge in the week, and this will probably get forgotten. But it was quite an interesting thing to do, and I'm quite happy with that. I didn't know what I was expecting, but didn't want to be a sociopath or anything like that. Probably wouldn't say you were, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Creative, caring, caring is sharing. The caring's important. You know, if you don't care about people, what are you? A bastard, basically. So, and high moral standards, which is probably about right. So quite self-reflecting that, but quite enjoyable as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. I think I need to do a lie detecting test or an IQ test next, but if you've got any ideas, let me know, and Going for Goldbridge will be back this week.